Right then, this is now my Naoya and Inoue versus Joon Kim fight preview and prediction for this fight coming up this Friday. And I think it's one that Inoue should win pretty easily, and he will win this one pretty easily. Obviously, it was meant to be Sam Goodman, but he had to pull out due to having another big cut on his eye. So we got this fight instead. But look, I'm just glad that we're going to be seeing Inoue fight. I think that's the same feeling as many others as well. We like seeing Naoya Inoue as an active fighter, and that's what we're seeing here. So I'm glad that he's still fighting. We're still getting a fight from Inoue. And it's good that he's staying active because I did say as well after Sam Goodman pulled out, like, Inoue has to be active if we're being real. And it's because of how good he is. We love seeing Inoue being active, and this is how Inoue has got all of his success throughout the years because of how ridiculously active he is. You know, fighting 3 times a year. We don't see many big names in boxing do that. But Inoue does that. So, you know, and this is what has brought him so much success and is gaining him more and more and more popularity. And, you know, he's up there in the pound for pound conversation right now for a reason. And it's because of the activity. And that's what a lot of fighters struggle with. It's activity. Although, you know, let's be real, it's not a learning fight for Inoue whatsoever, where, you know, he's going to learn more about himself in this fight. I mean, he already knows a bloody lot about himself. But, you know, it's not like, you know, Sam Goodman probably would have definitely lost to Inoue, but he would have tested him a little bit, but Joon Kim won't. But again, though, it's still a fight to keep active and for Inoue to keep his name out there and, you know, keep on showing that he is the real deal. So I'm glad he has taken this fight, and we're still seeing an Inoue fight, a big fight night for us, of course. We all do like watching Inoue fight. He's such a bloody joy to watch, if we're being real. His style is unbelievable to see every single time. He's always in an entertaining fight, or it's always a good, entertaining, dominant performance from Naoya Inoue, and that's what we're going to see here. And, you know, I've been trying to think, are we going to see Inoue take his time here, or are we going to see him just try and, you know, make another proper statement and blast Joon Kim out of there? It's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, I think a lot of us want to see Naoya Inoue versus MJ Akhmadaliev after this, but, you know, there's also possible talks of him moving up weight to featherweight, and we could possibly see a fight up there with Nick Ball, possibly. But yeah, I think that for this Joon Kim fight, I think Inoue's going to blast him out there, if I'm being real. I reckon it'll be done in 3 rounds. I really do. I think Joon Kim's style, from what I've seen of him, don't know too much about him. And if I'm being real, there's not loads out there on him. But he's ranked number 11 at the moment. I think it's in the WBO. But even though the IBF are technically making a mandatory or something like that, which is strange. Apparently, you know, this is Inoue's IBF mandatory defense done after this fight, even though Joon Kim isn't ranked in the IBF. So that's a bit strange in my opinion, but it's what it is. I'm glad that's another one going, and hopefully we get the MJ fight mid this year, then possibly him moving up to featherweight later on in the year. But yeah, I think, Joon Kim style is basically easy for Naoya Inoue to deal with. I think, you know, with Joon Kim, from what I've seen of him, he likes to work the body, and he is quick with it, to be fair, and he does pick his shots nicely to the body, and he is accurate, puts his shots in the right place, and can win his opponents very well. But I think when he does throw his body shots, he's very open for counters. And the last person you want to be countered by is Naoya Inoue, if we're being real. He's the last person you want to be countered by. I mean, you know, we see what happens if you make a slight mistake for a few seconds. For like a split second against Inoue, he's on that counter punch. We saw it against Neri. Like, you know, Neri was trying to land, trying to throw something, left himself open, and Inoue was literally straight on it and dropped him for their first knockdown in that fight. You know, we've seen it many other times as well. He was countering to parlays all night with ridiculous counters. Same as TJ Doheny. Stephen Fulton, the counters were absolutely unreal for Inoue in that fight. And it's going to be easy here, in my opinion. And, your John Kim, fair play to him for stepping up to this. This is our biggest opportunity we're going to see. So, see for him. And, he's going to do what he bloody possibly can. I mean, you never know with John Kim. We could see a very cautious game plan, especially early on. And, try and fight defensively, try to stay in there as well as long as possible and then hope something comes for him. But I don't know. I think that for Inoue, I just think he's going to make a statement. He's just going to be able to outsmart your John Kim the moment he opens up, really. And the moment your John Kim tries to go for a body shot, Inoue's going to be right on it. And it's difficult to deal with Inoue's speed and power. And your John Kim hasn't seen anyone like Inoue. He has, the two losses he's got, they're nowhere near the level of what Naoya Inoue is. So it's worrying times for you, John Kim, from what we've seen of him, to be honest with you. But yeah, he does like to work the body, and that's what you do need to do when it's, really difficult to hit a guy's head like it is for Inoue. So yeah, your John Kim body, that body work possibly is in his favor style-wise, but he just leaves himself too open to it whenever he throws that lead hook, really. And, the lead hook's a good shot when you're up against a lower level opposition like figure John Kim, and that's been proven in his fights. Against Inoue, it's not going to bloody work. It's not going to work. I really do think your John Kim's pretty screwed here. He's not going to be able to put Inoue on the back foot. He's not going to be able to do that. Even though, we know how well Inoue fights on the back foot. He's very good at countering you on the back foot. I mean, you're in trouble no matter what you do. But Inoue's ridiculously dangerous on the front foot, especially. And Inoue's taking front foot from the off. His footwork's on a different level to all these guys. He's always very good at winning the battle of the feet. I mean, look at that TJ Doheny fight, for example. He was very good in the battle of the feet in that fight against the Southpaw. Your John Kim's an orthodox, so, I mean, that's not really going to be a massive issue that we're really going to be looking at. I just think we're going to see the ridiculous speed and the ridiculous power and the ridiculous accuracy of Inoue in this fight against your John Kim. I do. I feel like Inoue's just going to pick him apart, if I'm being real. It's not really going to take him too long. Your John Kim's not got that experience of being in there with someone like Inoue, if we're being completely honest. He's not got that experience. And yeah, Inoue's had a very long training camp for this as well. Obviously, he's been preparing for Sam Goodman, but he's been in a training camp for a very long time, and that's gonna that's gonna be put in place in this fight. Obviously, yeah, with Inoue, he's 28 wins, 25 knockouts. With your John Kim, he's 21 wins, 13 knockouts. 2 draws, 2 losses, been knocked out 0 times in his 2 losses. So, he has got a chin on him, your John Kim, but, when you're in there with someone as confusing as Inoue, it's not gonna end too well. He's been in a few 12-rounders here and there, your John Kim, so, he has got experience in going the distance. He has been in the distance 12 rounds a few times now in his career as well. Been in quite a few 10-rounders as well. So it's not like, it's someone really properly inexperienced in, the deep ends of championship rounds in his fights. He's not at all. But this ain't going to make it to the championship rounds. It's not going to make it to the championship rounds, if we're being completely honest. This fight is ending early, and it levels, it's going to be a proper display of levels here, in my opinion. I'd like to see a longer fight. I'd like to see at least 5 rounds, but what round will I say? I think it might actually be done in 3 rounds. I actually think it might be done in 3 rounds. Yeah, I honestly think the moment your John Kim opens up, he's there for counters. He really will be. I know that for a fact. Anyway, going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. Speak to you on the next one.